Hey guys, it's Tori. So today we are doing my February reading wrap up and my March TBR. This video is going to be a little bit shorter than last month's because I did read less than I did in January, but February was a shorter month and I've been so busy. But with all that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my face. Check out my Amazon and my Goodreads down below and all my other socials. And let's get into my February reading wrap up and my March TBR. So I'm gonna go in the order that I read them, and I'm gonna read off my rating and all that kind of stuff. I have my Goodreads pulled up. So the first book I read in February was Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I finally got around to reading this and I literally loved it. This got a 4.5 stars from me. It is a hockey player slash ice skating romance. You have Stace and I think Nate was his name. I'm very bad at names, but yes, Nate and Anastasia, but also known as Stace. They are basically like rivals. She's kind of more the grumpy, he's more the sunshine. And basically something happens to the hockey player's ice skating rink, and so they have to end up sharing with the ice skaters. And Anastasia really doesn't like Nate because of this, because he's captain. And there's just, it was so good. I don't really even know what to say. The chemistry between the two of them is so good. You can tell he's just so in love with her. I literally read this in just a few days after I started to really get into it. I literally loved it. It is a little bit bigger. It's not too big. I think it was like 400 pages or so, but I was obsessed with this. I loved it. Highly recommend. The second book that I read in February was X's and O's by Amy Leah. Both of these were on my TBR for the month. This, I was just so excited to read it. I probably was anticipating this read the most for the entire year, and I was seriously disappointed. It low-key put me in a kind of slump-ish. It took me like a week to read this book, which usually it doesn't take me a week to read a book. I gave this only 3 stars. It was just very underwhelming. I liked the Taylor Swift and like the book references in here, but the romance itself, I don't know. I couldn't connect to the characters, which is really strange because the main female character, Tara, she is a book influencer, and so you would have thought I would be able to like connect with her, but basically the premise of the book is Tara decides that she wants to try and find her own like second chance romance in real life and redate all of her exes, and then Trevor helps her and they basically fall in love. But I just wasn't obsessed. It's forced proximity, it's roommates. It was okay, but I wouldn't really recommend this one. I gave it 3 stars. The next book I read was also on my TBR for February, and this was ACOWAR by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 3rd book in the ACOTAR series, and once again, it blew me away. I am so obsessed with Feyre and Rise and Mor and Azriel and Cassian and the Found Family. A lot of people don't like this based on all of the politics of it, but I ate it up. I literally read this in 3 days. It took me 3 days to read this book, and this is a 700-page book. Like, she is thick. She's beautifully floppy. I love the cover. It's such a pretty pink color, but I just love these characters. I love the storyline. I am going to be very sad to see them go because I only have 1 book left in the series, and I'm very sad about that. And at the same time, I know that the last book in the series is not in Feyre's point of view, which is going to be very hard for me. But I just love this series more than anything. This whole series is 5 stars. I'm just obsessed with it. I can't get enough. Sarah J. Maas is literally just a genius. And Rhysand or Rhysand, however you say it, is the love of my life, and I'm just obsessed with him. He's delicious. So 5 stars for ACOWAR. The next book that I read in February is A Court of Frost and Starlight. This is the 4th book in the ACOTAR series. This is the novella. This is basically about winter solstice, and it's also Feyre's birthday. It's in a bunch of different point of views. The only people's point of views that is in first person is Rise and Feyre, and everybody else's is third person, which is kind of weird to read. I gave this a solid 3 stars. I definitely wouldn't give it more than that. I considered giving it less, but just because I love the characters so much, I decided to give it a 3 star. I don't think this is fully necessary to read if you're reading the series, but at the same time, since I love the characters so much, I wanted to soak up as much of them as I possibly could. It's just okay. I definitely did a lot of skimming. There were some parts that I really liked in there. There were some cute aspects. You kind of get a deeper dive into the characters, but do I think it's necessary to read? No. The last book I read in February was Playing Hard to Get by Monica Murphy. This is the first book in the Players universe or series. I literally read this book in one day. I started it at like 6 in the morning while I was at work, and then I stayed up until 2 in the morning after I got off of work to finish it. But oh my god, I loved this book. It is a sports romance, once again, which you guys know is probably my favorite trope ever, but it was a football romance, and it was college romance as well. It's the first Monica Murphy book I've ever read, and I gave it 4.5 stars. I was just so obsessed. It made me giddy, excited. It's definitely smutty for sure. If you don't like steamy books, I would not read anything Monica Murphy from what I've heard. The second book in the series comes out the 31st of March, and I cannot wait to read it. And once I'm done with my book buying ban, I can't wait to buy both of them in paperback. I had so many like highlights and stuff on my Kindle. I just loved it. I loved it so much. I highly recommend that book. Okay, so now we're gonna get into my March TBR. My March TBR is only 3 books, and that is because I don't know what I'm in the mood to read. I'm just not in the mood for anything specific, so I only picked 3 books, and then I'm just gonna mood read the rest of the month. I also am on spring break in March, and so I have a video planned, but I don't want to already have my books pre-picked for that specific video, so I only picked 3 books. I will hopefully definitely read more than 3 books, especially because I have a whole week off of school, so I can really focus on reading and getting to my end of the year goal. But the first book on my March TBR is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I have been in the mood to read this because the 3rd book came out a few weeks ago, and so I'm very excited to get into the series. I've been anticipating it. I love these covers. I think they're all just beautiful. I don't know a ton about each book individually, but I know that they are like billionaires. It's the Dreamland Billionaire series, and I've heard that it has something kind of to do with like a knockoff Disney World type of thing. So I'm pretty sure that this is a workplace romance, forced proximity, boss employee type of thing. The gist I've gotten from every book is that the grandfather passed away, and each of the 3 brothers has to like fulfill whatever the grandfather said to get their inheritance or whatever. So I think that Rowan's might be getting married, but I don't 100% know. All I know is that I'm very excited to get into Lauren Asher. I've never read anything by her, and I'm very excited to get into the series. I've heard very mixed reviews, but I want to curate my own reviews, and I own the whole series, so let's hope that I like it so that I can read it. But that is my first TBR pick for the month of March. My second TBR pick is In a Jam by Kate Canterbury. This is the March book pick for Sarah Caroli's book club. I need to start this one soon so that I can stay up to date with that. But this one is Small Town Grumpy Sunshine, I think. All I know is that Alexia was obsessed with it and really wants me to read it. So this says she's the one who got away, she just doesn't know it. Oh, second chance romance maybe? That's exciting. I love a good second chance romance. Oh, it says Shay must be married within 1 year. Marriage is the last thing in the world Shay wants to do, but she'll do anything to save the only real home she's ever known. So I'm assuming she has to get married to save something that's in her inheritance, as in this house from her hometown. But I'm excited to read it. I've heard really, really good things. I love the cover. I think it's so, so cute. A lot of my book friends have read this book and really recommend it. So I have the paperback, and it also is available on KU. And I believe the fine print is also a KU book. So I kind of like that because sometimes I'm not in the mood to read a paperback, even if I own it, so then I can read it on KU as well. My last book for March TBR is one I'm honestly terrified to read. I'm not ready. This is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 5th and final book in the ACOTAR series. This is in Feyre's sisters Nesta's point of view. This is a real long one. This one is 700 pages. She's very floppy and beautiful. I love a good floppy fantasy book. All I know is that it is Nesta and Cassian, which I love Cassian so fucking much. I'm obsessed with him. He's like a sweetheart. He's amazing. He's pure. You can clearly tell in the other 2 books that I mentioned earlier in this video that I read in the series this past month that he's obsessed with her. Cassian wants Nesta and she just won't let it happen. So very grumpy sunshine. I just have a feeling. I know it's in the fantasy realm, but I just feel like it's going to be the closest thing to a romance that Sarah has written. I've heard that this is a very smutty book. It's the most smuttiest in the whole series, which does not bother me. I do not mind a good steamy romance, especially one written by Sarah J. Maas, because she knows how to do a good smut scene. I just know that she knows how to do a good one. So I'm assuming that this is gonna get a 4-star from me. We will just have to find out. I don't want to say 5-star just because it's not Feyre and Rise anymore, and that literally breaks my freaking heart. But I'm very, very excited to finish off the series. It'll be the first series since I got back into reading that I have finished, I believe. But I have a bunch of other books that could be on my TBR, but like I said, I don't really know what I'm in the mood for. But those are 3 that I know I would like to read this month. The rest of the books I read are just going to be mood reads. I'm hoping to get through 5 or 6 books in the month of March. April, I have a feeling I'm gonna not get through a whole lot because it will be my final month of college. I graduate at the very beginning of May, which I'm very excited about. But that was my February reading wrap up, and then also my March TBR. We will have to see at the end of this month how my reading month goes. Let me know if you guys have any book recommendations or video recommendations down below. I have a few videos planned, but I am starting to run low on ideas. I don't know if you guys like reading vlogs or don't like reading vlogs. I mean, I know you like hauls, but I'm on a book buying ban and I can't buy any more books right now. I don't need any more books right now either. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and check out all my socials down below, including my Goodreads and my Amazon wishlist. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my face, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!